Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. So we already know now about the new AMD Series 6000 that is going to come out, and obviously judging about the numbers that AMD itself has shown us, we already know that this might be a real problem for Nvidia now. So based into that, obviously we all have followed all the news surrounding this topic, and we obviously have so many freaking speculations going on, but obviously we have so many freaking facts that we might consider them to be true, either from the Nvidia side or maybe on the AMD side. Mainly right now I'm talking about the news of the new Nvidia GPUs that might come out, basically to be a counter attack against the 6000 series, because judging on the information that AMD has given us with their new GPUs, obviously they on paper are a little bit better than the Nvidia counterpart. So definitely now Nvidia has to strike back, and if they are going to do that with the new set of video cards, GPUs launched like the RTX 3080 Ti or Super, or maybe the 3070 Ti or Super, because we don't know yet how they are going to be called. Or maybe they are just going to fight Nvidia with the price segment, or maybe just with the current series, but with higher clocks, maybe a little bit of more CUDA cores, and so on. So that's why I decided to make this video, because we have some really, let's say, good facts, but obviously at this point we need to call them good speculations, because nothing is confirmed until we see that. So all of this information is going to be on this video, but obviously before we do that, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Also turn on notification so you never miss one of my new videos. So beginning with an article that is posted by videocards.com. Obviously you will have all the links on the video description about all the pages that I'm going to reference here, so you can go and watch them for yourself. Well, we have a spreadsheet or a table in here where basically first we had the RTX 3080 basically rumored to have 8704 CUDA cores with 20 gigabytes of GDDR6x, which basically says it canceled, but we still have we have no confirmation, because again right now we are into the speculation area. We don't know anything for sure, so we are just judging what we can read and see all over the internet, and this obviously being one. Then just a little bit above we have a very interesting version of the 3080 Ti or Super that might be with 9984 CUDA cores with 12 gigabyte of GDDR6 384-bit memory, which says it's cancelled. But then we have a new version of the 3080 Ti now with 10,496 CUDA cores, the same as the freaking 3090 with 20 gigabytes, the same memory, but only with 320 bits of memory bandwidth. So yeah, this obviously needs to be confirmed, because obviously nothing is confirmed in here, so technically we need to also take this information with a grain of salt. But then after scrolling obviously through the tech world, I discovered this video from Boot Sequence, which basically confirms, or let's say unconfirms or speculates about the same data almost with the 3080 Ti or Super, and obviously is rumored, as we said, with 10,496 CUDA cores like the 3090 with the same amount of SMs, 82, and only the difference, the only difference is the 20 gigabytes of VRAM with 19 gigabits of speed compared to 19.5 gigabits per second from the 3090. So I decided to make this video because I really think that this version is not possible to come out, at least in my opinion. Also, the first version that was rumored, the 3080 with 20 gigabytes, is still not possible to be, only for the simple reason because the GDDR6x is rumored obviously to be very expensive for the new cars. That's why the price is so high. But yeah, considering that the amount of memory is not going to give us that bump in performance that we need to go from the RTX 3080 to the 3080 Ti or Super, and obviously to beat the AMD counterpart, I don't think these two scenarios are possible to the outcome. But instead, I think that the most probable version of the 3080 Ti or Super is going to be exactly the 12 GB memory version with 384 bits and with 9084 CUDA cores. And why I think that, well, it's very simple. Again, gathering the information on the internet. So obviously I am a follower of the Hardware Unboxed and obviously Gamer Nexus, Linus Tech Tips and so on. So looking through their videos, here we have, for example, a video of the Hardware Unboxed for the Gigabyte 3080 Gaming OC, and this is a stripped card. We have the die, and obviously, as you see around the die, we have the memory modules, and if we count, we have 4, 8, 9, and 10 gigabytes of memory. But obviously, if we look closely, we have 1 and 2 empty spaces for the memory. So that's really strange. So if we add, for example, 2 modules of memory in here with 1 GB, this card becomes immediately with 12 GB without the need of building a whole new PCB to make a new version of the 3080. But then if we take a look, dig a little bit further, we go to the same page, Hardware Unboxed, with the Asus TUF Gaming. It's the same thing. It doesn't look a little bit, but if you look closely, you can notice we have the same configuration, 4, 4, 1, 1, 10 gigabytes, and these 2 slots, they are empty. So then back again to Gamer Nexus now. This time we see the reference model of the 3080, still the same configuration, 10 gigabytes of modules with 2 empty slots. Again, the same thing. In here for reference, I have again the EVGA for the Win 3, but from Gamer Nexus, but this is the back side. And just to show you that on the back side, we don't have any empty space for the memory modules. And I say this because if we jump to the 3090, here you can see obviously that the 3090 has all the memory modules spaces filled up. So we have 448, 311 and one in here 12. But if we look at the back side, we also have 12 more memory modules, which basically in total gives us 24 gigabytes of memory. So I say this obviously because again, I don't really think that Nvidia and all the other companies are going to do a whole new PCB with maybe 16 gigabytes of memory or maybe 20 gigabytes of memory and so on. But instead, judging from all of this information that we have, the 2 empty slots, this to me suggests that the next RTX 3080 Ti or Super, whatever it's going to be called, it's going to have 12 gigabytes of memory. From 10, it's going to go to 12. So this is the most probable. And then they obviously might fight a little bit in the speed side. They might bump a little bit the speed to 19.5 gigabits a second, like the 3090, for example. Maybe add a little bit more CUDA cores. I don't think it's going to be 10,496 like the 3090, because if the Ti or Super is going to be with this kind of configuration, then this means that the 3090 is going to be irrelevant. Then the only advantage that 3090 will have is going to be the huge amount of price increase, which is bad obviously, and the only advantage is going to be only that it has official support for the NVLink to be able to add multiple cards. But yeah, we have already established now that the NVLink or SLI is dead right now, so I see that less probable to have this kind of specs. But instead, judging from this version in here, 9984 CUDA cores with 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory, this is going to be, let's say, a middle ground to go from the RTX 3080 to the RTX 3090, or let's say to fill the gap, because we know that the gap is really huge. We go from $699, obviously MSRP, we go to $1499, which is a huge gap that Nvidia needs to fill up. So yeah, based on all of this information, I really think that the next version of the RTX 3080 is going to be with 12 gigabytes of RAM, because we have all the clues going on, and obviously this is going to be much easier for Nvidia and all the board partners just to add the 2 modules of RAM, and they can immediately ship them. They don't need to create a whole new set of PCBs and boards to be able to build the new 3080 Ti or Super, whatever it may be. So yeah, but anyway, I'm not an expert. I don't know about this, but these are just my guesses and the information that I have gathered. So at the end of the day, you might want to make your own assumption about this, but I'm just presenting them to you. So because you need to be a little bit on the ground about this and not fly too much by saying that the new RTX 3080 is going to have 20 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of very fast memory with many CUDA cores, like 10,000, because I don't think it will happen. Because again, if we go that route, that kind of specs, again, is going to make the 3090 irrelevant. No one is going to get a over $1,500 dollar card against a sub 1000, because next we jump to the price. The price is going to be definitely under the AMD price, or let's say in this case the 6900 version that cost or let's say that it's announced at $999. So Nvidia should definitely be under that price, maybe $899. That would be great, I think. But yeah, judging for the information about the specs, I really don't think that the 20 version is going to be available. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know if they maybe can add 2 gigabytes modules, but in my knowledge, I have not found any information of 2 gigabyte modules that can be added to the cards. So yeah, all of this data that I presented you here, guys, tells us that